I remain one of Maresca's biggest critics, but not to the extent that I would want him sacked. Because realistically, since the new owners came, Maresca is the only coach who has been able to give Chelsea some stability. We've had coaches come in and then they create a mess and then they leave. Okay? But I think before Maresca came, Pochettino was there. He did a decent job, and even though I still feel Pochettino should have been given a lot more time to improve the team, I'm still convinced that the decision to bring Maresca into the club was not a bad one. So to call for Maresca's head at this point, I think is not something we should be talking about. But I do not understand why people think that Maresca is not doing well and should be sacked. No. Maresca is one of the coaches with the highest win rates of all coaches that have coached Chelsea. If you take away the likes of Gus Hiddink, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, and Thomas Tuchel, only Maresca comes close to these guys. And these guys are some of the top guys that have coached Chelsea. So if we have a coach like Maresca, I don't see why we should be talking about the sack right now. Okay? Maresca needs time. He makes mistakes, but I like the fact that in his mistakes, he does address some of them. Except, of course, for one that he has not addressed, and I still think it's affecting the team some way. People may not agree, but I still don't fall for the idea of Reece James still being in the midfield. You see, I'm repeating this here. I feel that Reece James can, but I don't think we can get consistently the kind of performance he gave us. He's played that position in the past, but he's not naturally born. He's not a natural born midfielder. If Reece James is in your team and is playing at right back, he's naturally a huge weapon for your team. You can use him to your advantage. You can beat teams with Reece James on the flanks. So I get the fact that Gusto is also giving Maresca. Well, it's not giving only Maresca. He's giving us a different dimension as a club, and it's worth talking about it because Gusto has actually become very good for the team, and it makes it very difficult for Maresca to make the decision to put Reece James on the flanks ahead of Gusto, because Gusto has that flex. He has some mobility in playing the inverted role better than Reece James. So I agree to an extent why Maresca is opting for Gusto ahead of Reece James. But the fact remains that if Reece James is played at right back, we are going to get more than we are getting from Gusto. So I think Maresca needs to make a decision and then put Reece James on the flanks and give more midfielders in the team opportunities. We have Caicedo, Andre Santos, who can do a decent job. He's shown it that he can add some quality to the midfield in the absence of Caicedo or in partnership with Caicedo. We also have Daryl Isugo on the bench. Yes, he's been out injured. He's back training, but hasn't had minutes. If we move Reece James to the flanks and bring one of these midfield options to help Caicedo, I think we'll have a better structure going into games than we do have now. Even though in big games, you can opt to bring Reece James in midfield and put Gusto on the flanks. It works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but we need to show some consistency in the way we play. The consistent tweaks here and there is not giving the team the right stability to move on. That is why we do lose points here and there. So I just want to say that I do not agree with certain decisions Maresca makes. However, I don't think my reasons or the reasons some may have are enough to merit Maresca's sack. I don't agree. I feel Maresca has done a decent job for Chelsea, and with time, given certain materials, which the team obviously still lacks, he can give us a better performance. He can give us a better team, and in the coming seasons, or maybe the second half of the season, we may see improvement depending on how we actually spend in January. That's if we are going to spend. So, yeah, Maresca stays for me.